ask for, or even before I come there or when I come there, I'll give it to your managers, assistant managers, supervisors. You can make a copy. There's no gotcha moment in any of this, just so you know. I want us all to be, great stakeholders together and work together for a win-win relationship between the patrons, customers, yourself as an operator, and myself as a regulator. So there isn't going to be any kind of gotcha moment. I know people might get nervous because, here's the guy walking around with a checklist. It's not like that at all. I mean, rest assured, just to let you know. So I want to say that first and foremost. So on this retail site inspections, it's going to be everything running down through the rules and regs, which will be everything from problem gambling, posting at the entrance and other little spots throughout the sports book. Also, the number of kiosks, the number of windows, the data board, the latency with that. Now, I'm not going to be standing there with a stopwatch, which I've had done to me, believe it or not, in a different jurisdiction. But just making sure everything works properly as it should. Additionally, we'll be looking at the keys, sensitive keys, if you have a surveillance area or not, that you're able to, view the kiosks, view the customer counter or the OTCs, and then a layout structurally of where the sports book is gonna rest. And we want to make sure everything is within that boundary. We don't want underage kids where kiosks are near the edge of like a food mart in a stadium, because we're doing something different here in stadiums, and a kid could reach over and start punching tickets. So we have to make sure those things are sealed off and not able to happen. And then getting back to the checklist, with the checklist, like I said, I'll provide it. There isn't any kind of gotcha moment or anything like that. And the fantasy sport one is even easier than the retail, because we have to walk that mile throughout the shop, the boots on the ground, so to speak. So that's the long short of that. Now, any questions?
Ernest Matthews, go ahead.
Hi, Harold. I know it's early with respect to this question, but in trying to anticipate the future, will the inspections and the checklist for the limited event wagering retails be similar to the regular retails, so that there can be some planning for that future once they can go live?
Oh, yeah, I would say it'd be totally identical. There isn't,
okay.
There isn't going to be like some snafu in there or a one-off or anything that would be like a got you,
okay.
like I really stridently stress there isn't any got yous. We have to follow the rules and regs, everybody here, all the operators, but this is all setting it up where it's a win-win situation for all three of us stakeholders in this pie. And the more we communicate, trust each other now and moving forward, like you said, at far reaching after operations and a post-operation kickoff, it just creates for a better atmosphere of communication. If alluding to your question more, kind of reading into it, you made me think of something where, if something was to happen, I don't want operators to conceal it. You're much better off to bring it to my attention and we'll look at it versus, oh, this happened, 6 months ago, and now it's, mushrooming into something much bigger than that. That would be a serious violation, So there isn't any gotcha moments, anything like that. We're trying to work together, but you still have to adhere to the rules and regs. And I hope I answered that pretty clearly for you.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to see if structurally there was a different path for the limited event wagering versus the retail operations under the event wagering license holder. You made it clear. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Andrew Winchell, go ahead.
Hi, this is Andrew Winchell from FanDuel. Thanks for holding this meeting. Kind of to follow up on that question, because you kind of touched on the idea that there'd be a fantasy sports checklist. Is there an expectation of that checklist being like in relation to our systems? Because we won't have a physical location, and then to follow up on that question, presuming if there's a checklist for the systems operation for fantasy, I presume there'd also be one for the mobile event wagering systems as well. And would those checklists be made available in advance?
Yes, totally correct on all that. The retail one is a bit longer than the other ones because it's more system oriented, like you said, and there's just the varying degrees between the mobile and the fantasy, but those two are very similar. But yes, correct.
Thank you.
And any other questions? Okay, I'm going to move on to the fourth bullet, the fifth bullet point, account creation, and a timeline here. I didn't want to put update on this, but there's a slight little update that we decided on. As we know, Saturday, August 28th kicks off fantasy sports. Thursday, September 9th kicks off event wagering, retail, and mobile. I'm going to throw in a little timeline. So for wagers to be accepted would start that morning at 12:01 a.m., just so everyone's aware. Now, account creation, and specifically, this is a bit of a change we did. Once again, the operational mindset for mobile event wagering. So with the mobile for event wagering, we're going to allow account creation starting on the 28th for mobile. But there's a couple notes here that please pay careful attention to. So they can sign up for a mobile account, one. Two, they can actually even deposit cash, okay? And the third most important part, if you do this, you have to have your accounts locked down from wagering. You cannot have anyone wagering, 11:58 on September 8th on the Thursday night game or whatever coming up, because that would be a serious violation. And like I said, we're definitely, we're monitoring all that. So be highly aware of that. So you're allowed to do your KYCs for account creation with the mobile on the 28th. And customers can deposit money after you do your KYCs, obviously. But you have to have your wagering system locked down from wagering. Wagering is not permissible until 12:01 a.m. on September 9th. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of questions. So let's.
Yeah, Catherine, go ahead. Catherine Burke, go ahead.
Hi, Katie Burke from DraftKings. I was just wondering if you could clarify on the fantasy sports and event wagering side when those checklists mentioned earlier for inspection would be available.
They're pretty short and sweet. You just send me an email, like in a subject heading, just saying you're from DraftKings and say requesting, fantasy checklist. And it's nothing over the top. It's just like a summation of the rules going right through, just to let you know. So just send that over to my email and I will get to you as soon as possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Alex Smith, go ahead.
Hi, Hal. Two quick questions for you. On the go live for the registration. Can we assume that's also 12:01 on the 28th?
Well, you for mobile, we changed. That's what I'm saying right now. You can have on the 28th at 12:01. You can have people sign up for your mobile app. They can deposit money, but you cannot allow them to wager.
Got it. Right. I just wanted to make sure it was 12:01 for that. Thank you. And then, sorry to backtrack. I'm not sure if you still have the licensing folks on, but I was curious. We certainly appreciate the accommodation on limiting the financial disclosure. I was wondering if the fingerprint requirements still apply to those suppliers and vendors.
I'm sure it does, but this is an operational meeting, and
Okay.
you're welcome to send that to EWFS intake. Like a lot of those questions for the licensing and apps.
Sure.
And I just want to clarify, I kind of misspoke slightly. I said the KYCs were, due at the time of deposit. I meant they're at the time of wagering, not at the time of deposit, just to be clear, but I figured you know what I meant.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And next question.
Kevin Kim, go ahead.
Hello, this is Kevin from FanDuel. Just wanted to clarify on the account creation timeline. Would the sort of guidelines for mobile event wagering sign up on the 28th apply to fantasy sports as well? So are we kind of cleared to start accepting signups at 12:01 a.m. on that date?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Ray Aloni.
Hello, Ria Loney with Penn Sports Interactive. A question around the account creation. No concerns around the wagering date. Currently right now, we have a traveling wallet for the Barstool Sportsbook. And, right now somebody can sign up for the actual sportsbook in a state that we're not live in. All that allows you to do, it doesn't actually change anything. You just now have an account with us. And, we believe this allows us to have individuals work through some of the registration processes and KYC. The terms and conditions that they check are not specific to Arizona because we're not actually live in Arizona, as you all know. So they're actually agreeing to terms and conditions to a different home state, which for us is Pennsylvania. But, just with transparency and, want to be clear, want to make sure there's no concerns with that, or, how maybe we just need to have a separate discussion, and I can walk you through some of our infrastructure to make sure that that's acceptable right now. And there are no concerns with that.
Yeah, you were reading my mind. I think that's something more offline. Send me a brief, summary email, and perhaps we can talk on the phone.
Perfect.
And likewise for anyone else, if there's anything proprietary, you have, a question, or you just don't want to talk in front of the group, feel free to send me an email and we can catch up at another time.
Yeah, and I brought it up, I brought it up on this call because I think it might be more applicable to other operators than just us as well. So, I opened it up because I think the discussion, but we can sideline on that one for sure. Appreciate it.
Right. Well, I appreciate it too. And then one other thing I just want to mention, I said it kind of quick. Yeah, for the suppliers, you still have to do fingerprint cards, just so I thought I had mentioned that. So I just want to be clear.
All right, Chris Capro, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Hal, just kind of coming off that last question, will you guys be working to give us our feedback and clear our T's and C's and patron pages ahead of the 28th?
Yeah, we're doing everything, trying to get the things done ahead of time.
Okay. If it's not completed by the 28th, is that going to prohibit us from going live for registrations?
Well, you're first going to have to be get the license, and then we'll move forward there. I mean, we're knocking out everything as fast, as fast as we can. And then another thing I just want to clarify, on the promos that I had mentioned, going back to the first bullet point, I just initially need a submission, not an approval, just so you're aware. So I'm a little backtracking on that, and I don't mean to double speak or anything, because I never do that. But on the promotions, you just submit those promotions, and that'll be fine.
Great. And just well, the deposits, you're saying only cash deposits for sportsbook betting accounts?
Well, that would be any deposits. You can't allow. You could take any deposits. It's just you can't wager before 12:01.
Okay, so all of our electronic deposit methods can be live on 12:01 on the 28th. We just obviously betting will be shut down.
Right. That is my understanding at the moment, unless I get indication something's changed. That only makes sense to me, like what you're saying. But if anything changes, we'll have that update at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Breard Snellings, go ahead.
Hi, yes, Briard Snellings, DraftKings. I just wanted to clarify something around the 28th date. Is that the date that we can start having call to actions for marketing, as far as the specific do X and have, join our sports book or join whatever?
Well, as I had mentioned earlier, the marketing and ads is separate than the promotions. You can, you want to make sure, good business practice is one, and you're listing our 1-800-problem gambling number. You're not, advertising to under 21-year-olds and so forth that are listed in the rules and regs. Additionally, just following those guidelines, plus, however you want to, say in your ad like that is fine. Just, I would say to anyone, just make sure you're, doing good business practices. And then just, following up on our problem gambling number, it's, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, which I'm sure a lot of folks know, but I just want to make that clear. 1-800-NEXT-STEP is what we wanted posted. Elise Mickelson's our director here for that, and she does a really great job. And we really want to promote taking care of any Arizona problem gambling issues there are. So that's why we're really stressing the 1-800-NEXT-STEP here in Arizona.
Okay, so thank you so much, Al. Just to clarify, we can, as long as we're following the rules and regulations as been included in the y'all's regs, we can start with calls to action in our advertisements.
Right, billboards, whatever. That is not promotions or bonuses. That's what I was making clear in the first bullet point. Well, actually, let me back up. I'm sorry, I got a few things I'm thinking. If you're running like a billboard, or anything like that, actually, it's the 28th. Let me step back. I apologize. It's on the 28th. Sorry about that. I was thinking something else, but it's the 28th. I'll make that clear.
Okay, sorry, just to clarify, what now is specific to the 28th that we...
For marketing.
Okay, thank you for that. I'll follow up offline.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry about that. Okay, and then I'm going to go on. I'm going to go on to the last bullet point, which is going to be, I know people are wondering about debt set-off questions and self-exclusion list. Right now, it's a work in progress, just to let you know. And we'll be tackling that more, if not fully, the second or third meeting, just to make you aware. So now, Aaron, let's go to the next slide for the responsible party notice. So here's an overview of the outline. Like, it's broken down in this category of submissions for internal controls. It lets you know that what we're accepting per the rule. And then you have my email for questions and submissions. Then you go down the house rules, same thing, explaining that, my email, the wager event catalog, what we're looking for, the statutory rule language, and then my email again, event wagering facility, the submissions, the rule citation, my email to send all this stuff to. Next slide, Aaron. Aaron, could you go to the next slide, please?
I did.
No, I have another. It's still on the first page.
Is it not showing?
No, it's not showing. It's just the first page of responsible party.
Let me try to represent here. 1 sec.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that little technical gremlin. Okay, so, and I'll take your, yes, we got a question here, Aaron.
Yeah, Briard, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Hal, sorry. One quick thing. I wanted to confirm that if we've already submitted this to you, we don't need to resubmit under this new email heading that you have received, and we're good with this stuff.
For your promotions?
For this entire batch of submissions. If we've already submitted these submissions in a previous email to you, do we need to resubmit under this?
No, I mean, the only thing is, you know, if you've sent ICs and that, you just, for the approval on that, that's all. Because like I said, you're just making a submission on promotions. There's no approval on it. But if you're doing ICs, that's a different category. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if I submitted everything together, if I submitted promotions and internal controls and everything, like we've previously submitted that all in one document to you, do I need to resubmit separately?
You shouldn't have to. And if something came up where I don't know what, some document wasn't reopening or something, perhaps I would ask you to, but at this moment, no. And then once again, offline, I would just submit an email to you saying, hey, I have all your stuff in it and it's all working. And then you're waiting for approval on, particular items.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so here we're on the next page, promotions, bonuses that we went over, the tournaments per the rule, liability policy, commercial general liability insurance, security surveillance plan that I briefly touched upon with the coverage. If you have a monitoring room or not, the outline of the physical boots on the ground sports book is what all that's getting into. And like I said, prior also with this, bringing up the item of the walkthrough, so to speak, of the checklist. If you're all welcome at the retail locations to invite myself or I'll bring a staff member or two along. So a lot of them I'm training. So they learn more about the sports betting world and operations, and they wouldn't be any bother because I could answer their questions for them, where they get to kind of bang on the machines, take in the setting and everything, and they wouldn't interfere at all because they could just ask me, having, no operations. And if you're able to do that, I appreciate it because, that kind of helps me with my training also. And that's a good, time and chance for us to get to meet each other and converse in a casual setting, and any other, questions you have, and we get to meet face to face. I think that's a great opportunity. So feel free when your establishments are getting ready to open to send out, an invite of when you're doing the training, and an invite of, we could come by. We'd appreciate that. So you can go to the next one, Aaron.
Okay.
Please. Okay, this is requesting, here we are, location of the servers, requesting test accounts, the adjusted gross, event wagering receipts and privilege fees, and integrity monitoring. Next slide. The geofencing, reserve requirements, remote access to surveillance. I know most people will be having surveillance rooms, but if not, we'll get with my IT person to set that up, so we're able to monitor that remotely. Now, jumping over let me go back to reserve requirements, because this is another one I've gotten a few questions. All we need is the document, showing that we don't need a 100-page document. We just need like the balance, the account part of the document. That's all we need, just so everyone knows that. You can go to the next one, Aaron. Now this is technical requirements. Whoop.
We have a question. Briard, go ahead.
Hi, apologies. Can you go back 2 slides just for a quick second? I think there might have been something. Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, and the technical requirements for shipping and the lab certification, as a lot of you already know. Okay, next slide. Scheduling, once again, the account creation.
Kim McAllister, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Kim McAllister with William Hill, Caesars Digital.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
I know all of us are trying to get a grasp on all of these, the slide presentation. Will this be available to us? Can you send us copies, or would we be able to request a copy of this so that we can make sure that we're getting all of these requirements?
Yes, I was gonna, you read my mind, and I was gonna
Thank
mention
you.
that shortly. We'll be having this posted on the website, my understanding. And if for some reason it's not posted in like a day, say, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll give you the document myself, but it's supposed to be posted on the website, my understanding.
All right, thanks, Hal. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're welcome. And now with scheduling, touching upon account creation again, the marketing, state system testing, and then the retail brick and mortar wagering area inspection, which covers, a number of things that we briefly mentioned. Also, with talking about the retail inspection, and I just make this as a suggestion, if you're able to do it at your locations, it just makes it, once again, a lot more trainable for me with my staff. If one of the staff members, a supervisor and a teller, could go through, getting a bank, walking to the book, printing a couple tickets, shutting down the bank, bringing the money back to the cage. And I just say, if you're able to do that, I just appreciate it. So my people could see that in action. A lot of people, understand or learn better visually than just, verbally or reading something. So that's another thing, if you're able to accommodate that would be appreciated on an insight inspection. And once again, it's no got you moment or something, if a ticket writer punches a wrong team or anything. It's just, I'd like to have that presented to my staff for training purposes, so they understand the sportsbook operation better and more clearly. Okay, and next slide. Now, these are the items that are still in development: the self-exclusion list and the debt set-off list. So this, we're hoping to have more information by the next Wednesday meeting, or the one before, a week or so before kickoff, so to speak, for event wagering. But hopefully, I believe next week we will definitely have some more information for you. Okay, I just want to make that really clear. And I know some folks I have talked to before in emails or have called me. I've given some information on this, but I don't want to, misspeak or anything like that. So right now it's, in a state of inertia here, is it's still developing on the self-exclusion and the debt set-off. Okay. Next slide. Now this is where, like from the gentleman from FanDuel, we're talking about fantasy sports. So this is a fantasy sports section, which is much shorter because it's going to be, on the platform. So the submissions are the systems and function certification, server location, your IC's internal controls, your house rules, that straightforward stuff. Next slide, Aaron. And then we have the fantasy sports contest catalog, and then account creation, the dates, the times, and everything. Next slide. And then request the fantasy sports contest adjusted revenue privilege fees, the geofencing, and the marketing. And then I know we had some questions there on the marketing earlier, and there's the answer. And I'm glad I backtracked and corrected them. I misspoke a little bit. Sorry about that. That kind of stuff can happen to the best of us, as you know. So I'm glad we got that nice and clarified. Next slide, Aaron. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Andrew Winchell.
Hi, thanks for going through all this. Andrew Winchell again from FanDuel. Kind of to follow up on the questions on marketing, and
Sure.
Not to be a little bit of a dead horse on this one, but that DraftKings had raised earlier. I guess the question they raised, and it's pertinent for us as well, is on marketing, both for event wagering and for fantasy, but probably more for event wagering actually, is when at 12:01 a.m., on the 28th, when you can create an account, when you can deposit to your account, and when we can market, can we market certain offers that would be, as DraftKings was talking about, calls to action? So for example, are we allowed to have a marketing campaign that says deposit X and we will also grant you X in your account?
Yeah, I would take the business practice of cautioning, of caution. You know what I mean? I would wait until that date. That's why I misspoke a little, and I admit I misspoke, and I corrected myself pretty quick. As you know, we have a lot of things going on, and we all can make a slight, a verbal blurb. But yeah, it's the 28th. Really, wait till.
Yes, correct. But yeah, but after the 28th, we would be fine to do that type of advertising, because I think there was concerns previous that we would not be able to do quote unquote call to action advertising until September 9th. So, but you're saying that we'd be able to do, as of 12:01 a.m. on the 28th, advertising that says deposit, presuming that we've already submitted the promotion for your approval and gotten that you can deposit X and receive X in your account, even though you won't be able to wager till September 9th.
Right. Now, if you, with the call to action, you'll have to submit it to me.
Right.
So I would go ahead, submit it to me, and then we could, speak offline or in an email.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Robin Bowers.
Hi, Hal. Thank you. Robin Bowers from BetMGM. I'm sorry. Do you mind sort of speaking about like the billboards? Can we have billboards up prior to August 28th? If there's no like promotions, there's no offer being, listed on the billboard. It's just
Right.
a,
That, yep, and I know exactly what you're saying. I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, I mean that my understanding is you're able to. Now, once again, if I get some other direction, I would definitely let everyone know. But I'm not, you know, you see, it gets kind of confusing here in this. And once again, I got to go back to what I just said to Andrew. I would wait to the 28th, quite simply.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for any confusion about that. Okay, next slide, Aaron. Then we have the terms and conditions and promotion bonuses. Once again, all this stuff will be available on the website. Next slide, Aaron. And then also here, items that are still in development. Once again, the self-exclusion list and debt set-off list. And once again, this will be next meeting, hoping to address this more specifically with definitive answers for everyone. Okay, Aaron, and can you go back to, I think it's going to be the second or third slide where we had the overview. Yep. And once again, as a heads up for the next meeting on Wednesday, the operational meeting agenda looking to include the debt set-off and self-exclusion list information for everyone. But feel free, offline to contact me. And if you don't see that stuff posted, the two forms you saw today, just send me an email and I'll get it to you as soon as I can. But that should be on the site sometime soon here. And is there any final questions? And one thing I just want to say, I hope everyone found it, very informative and useful, trying to cover a lot of different points. And the 5 points I was, going over was a lot of items that other people have privately emailed or talked to me about. So I just put that out there. That's a reoccurring theme of questions. So I hope that part was satisfying in the overview and trying to clear up the questions. And sorry if there was any little confusion, but like I said, to end the thing on the marketing, wait till the 28th, 12:01 a.m. Okay, any final questions? Okay, well, it was very enjoyable presenting this to you. I can't wait till next week. I found this very fun. I hope you did too. And you're welcome to contact me personally, email or anything if you have any, off the meeting here. And I look forward to meeting you out in the field, out in the sports betting arenas, stadiums, and locations. And give me a call anytime, email or phone. And I thank you very much. And as I was always say in the sports book industry as an operator, have a great day and a betters tomorrow.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kyle.
Have a great
Thank you
day.
so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Aaron, we're good?
Okay.
I hope I